wonderful. Thank you. And on to the blockers. These are folks who were decidedly opposed to the change, and they're convinced that the change is not good and it's likely gonna fail. And these are typically high-level managers or executives or others with great influence in the organization who could use that influence to prevent the change from happening. And just a very quick story, I was on an executive team, and the group would make a decision, and 5 minutes after the decision was made, one of the executives would go to the head of the organization and and say to them, this is why this decision is not going to work for me and my people. Can you let us out of it? And the head of the organization, being a nice guy, said, yeah, sure, you don't have to do this. So you can imagine for the others in the group that weren't doing this, what this did to morale, and how do you get a change initiative implemented if everyone isn't pulling in the same direction? So I met with the head of the organization. I talked to him about what was going on and what were the consequences. And at the next team meeting, he talked to the group about what was happening. The executives had a frank discussion, promised never to do it again. The head of the organization said, and if you do come to me, I'm going to suggest that you discuss it with the group, and even better yet, if you have any concerns, discuss it before we make the decision. And it worked. The back channel meeting stopped. And nobody was being malicious. Nobody was purposely trying to block. But in essence, that's what they were doing. So how do we engage blockers? First of all, we need to recognize and identify potential blockers without overtly calling them blockers. We don't want to label people. The point with all these roles is to understand the influence and level of commitment to the change and how to best engage them in the change process. It's also important to recognize the influence of the position, understand their motives and desires, and to anticipate likely action from the blockers. And if necessary,